Football players make a lot of money. You know this already and probably envy them for it. Well, they do not just make so much money. Sometimes they lose money, and when they do, their losses are usually in millions of dollars. From buying the wrong property to investing in the wrong business, doing drugs to gambling, these are mistakes that have made some football players lose millions. Number 10. Zlatan Ibrahimovic's wrong investment. It's okay to assume that every professional footballer always dreamed of playing football. This might not be out of place. However, there are no rules that state one must only have one dream. Ibrahimovic is famous for playing football at the highest level. However, he did not only dream of playing football, he also dreamt of owning a clothing line. As good as this sounds, sometimes chasing your dream can make you lose a lot of money without any hope of making profits. This was exactly what happened to Zlatan after he lost about $20 million because of a failed dream. After making so much money from playing football, Zlatan decided to invest in a clothing line. He called this clothing line A to Z Sportswear. Furthermore, the target of his brand wasn't rich sportsmen. Zlatan wanted his clothes to be affordable. Although his move was quite a good one, it was bad for business as he ended up having to shut down the firm after investing so much money. The plan was to make his brand as big as Adidas and Nike. However, things just did not go according to plan. Number 9. Ronaldo's crashed Bugatti Veyron. Speaking of things not going according to plan, Ronaldo once had to deal with the loss of millions of dollars after his Bugatti Veyron crashed into someone's compound. This story is pathetic and one might want to blame Ronaldo for being a bad driver. However, he wasn't the one driving. Although Ronaldo was not the driver of his Bugatti Veyron on the day it crashed, he gave the order that it was being followed, so he was totally responsible for his loss. Ronaldo was on vacation with his family and he could just not get his Bugatti off his mind, so he asked that it be brought to him. The car was moved from his mansion and brought to the island where he was relaxing. Everything seemed perfect until the person driving the car lost control and crashed into a building. This damaged the car. In addition to the damage done to the car, Ronaldo had to pay for ruining someone's property. Number 8. Pogba got robbed. Sometimes decisions that seem all perfect can turn around to burn those that made them. No one really wants to be in this situation. However, sometimes we do not choose the situations we find ourselves in. Just like every other player in this video, Paul Pogba has made a lot of money from playing professional football, and the fact is, he has enough money to take care of everyone around him. So, he decided to become responsible for the well-being of his family and friends. As much as he made a good decision by all standards, this decision led to the loss of about $13 million. So, what is the correlation between helping relatives and losing $13 million? After helping his family for a long time, someone tried to steal from Pogba, and on discovering this, he had a change in attitude and decided to withhold his funds. Well, whoever tried stealing from him knew him well and felt they could rob him. So one night, the French midfielder was robbed at gunpoint. He was forced into a car, taken to a remote place, and forced to transfer $13 million. He did the transfer and he was released. Unfortunately, Paul Pogba recognized the voices of those that robbed him. They were his brother and friend. Well, he couldn't get his money back, and the rest is history. Number 7. Lionel Messi's investment in the wrong property. So long as investments are concerned, the place of due diligence cannot be overemphasized. Well, someone might have to tell the former Barcelona legend about this, as he spent $11 million on a property that didn't even have the approval of the Spanish government. It all seemed perfect when Messi discovered his house in Ibiza, as it was really his dream home. So he put pen to paper, did all necessary paperwork, and paid for the house. During this process, it all seemed perfect. However, after he made payment, the authorities came for him and made clear that his new house was illegal. The businessman in charge of the construction of Messi's newly acquired mansion had the government's permission to build a 4-bedroom apartment. However, he went ahead to build a 6-bedroom apartment. The fact is, the government did not know what was going on until Messi bought this apartment. Unfortunately, after paying $11 million for his dream house, he couldn't even live in it. The next set of football players did not just lose millions, they went broke. However, before we go on, please click the like and bell buttons. Also, subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this. Number 6. John Arne Risa's financial mess. John Arne Risa earned a weekly wage of £50,000 while playing for Liverpool. Surprisingly, that was the period he was declared bankrupt. I don't know how someone earning £50,000 every week gets broke. Some of you must be wondering how he got broke. I had the same exact thought on my mind too. The former Norway international was involved in a financial mess in his home country and he lost £3 million. Just a moment. Did John invest absolutely everything he had in a single deal? That seemed like a very foolish thing to do. Maybe he was a little too greedy too. Risa perhaps had a bad relationship with money. However, he had luck on his side. He was still an active player when he lost all his money, so he had the opportunity to have a comeback. Number 5. Ronaldinho's real estate investment. After his retirement, Ronaldinho invested in real estate. Yes, you heard that one right. But did he have to wait till retirement to invest? Of course he didn't. But like his time on the pitch, he perhaps never gave anything the seriousness it deserved. It was obvious from the start that he knew nothing about this field, no pun intended, and decided to build in a part of town that the government considered off-limits, which got him into trouble with the law. It gets even worse. His passport was seized and he got a fake one while trying to leave Brazil. This seemed like a smart thing to do, right? Well, no. Ronaldinho was later caught and arrested. This looked bad, but even the former president of Brazil made it to prison, so maybe it really wasn't a big deal, right? Here is the big one. The football wizard was so broke that he couldn't pay his legal fees. He reportedly had less than $10 in his account. So you were probably richer than him. Of course, that's if you had over $10 in your account at the time. Number 4. Emmanuel Eboe's divorce. If anyone had told Emmanuel Eboe that he was going to go from living in the best of houses and driving nice cars to being homeless and moving around by bus in Europe, he would have had a hard laugh. Unfortunately, that was exactly what happened to the former Arsenal star. The former Ivorian defender not only travels by bus, he has to make do with sleeping on the floor of his friend's home, wash his clothes by hand as he cannot afford a washing machine, and spends time running from bailiffs. Eboe didn't just lose millions, he does not have a family to call his own as he is divorced. Maybe if he had signed a prenup, his life just might have turned out differently. Well, Eboe is still not the dumbest football player out there. Keith's story is even more pathetic. Number 3. Keith Gillespie's gambling addiction. Keith's career lasted 2 decades. He had 86 caps for Northern Ireland and 239 appearances in the Premier League and was well rewarded financially. He made £7 million from his long career. However, he did not wait 20 years to spend it all. How did this happen? The Manchester United Academy product battled gambling and drinking addictions for a long time, and these drained him of all he earned from his career. Keith did not just lose money, his wife left him after he became broke. Unfortunately, there was nothing for her to leave with. If only she had left him before he became broke, just maybe she would have left with some goodies. Keith might have lost his wealth and his wife, however, he did not lose it all. He still has fame. Number 2. Paul Merson's love for drugs. As a professional footballer, Merson was suitable to play in several teams, which he did with flying colors. He is most popular for wearing the Arsenal red and white jersey. He made a lot of money too. How Merson lost millions is a lot different from any other case in this list. Sportsmen, especially famous ones, can easily fall into the familiar trap of hard drugs. Merson had an affinity for the wrong things. How else does one explain a sportsman's involvement in gambling and drugs? Being involved in one of these vices is bad for any sportsman's finances. Unfortunately, it seemed one vice was not good enough for Paul Merson as he partook in all. Merson's irresponsible lifestyle made him lose a lot of money, and then things even got worse after his marriage crashed because of his lifestyle. That's not all. He was caught drunk driving and was arrested one time too. Number 1. Eric Jemba Jemba's lavish lifestyle. Just like the average uneducated footballer, all Eric knew how to do was play football and enjoy the best life had to offer. Life's best is not cheap, so Eric spent a lot. Well, he could afford what he wanted, so his lifestyle seemed fine. Jemba Jemba reportedly maintained about 30 bank accounts. But what was he doing with several bank accounts? Only fraudsters need so many bank accounts, and there are no reports of him ever being one. He additionally had at least 10 luxury cars. How many cars was he able to drive? He must have had these cars to prove to people in Cameroon that he had arrived. Of course, this seemed cool, however, it was a big mistake. It's cool to arrive, but this can come at a cost. In 2007, Eric had to file for bankruptcy. That's it for today. See you in the next video.